Hello and welcome to Morning Call for Tuesday, the 9th of July, 2019. I'm Fab from Hamburg and I'm here to bring you the tech news, or what's left of it. We're a little bit in the summer lull right now. There's fuck all happening pretty much. Excuse me being frank, but there's really not a lot of going on. I was trolling like the sites for over an hour. Actually, if you count the time I was reading tech news or tried to find tech news while I was having breakfast, probably 2 hours. But I couldn't really, there's not much going on. But I'm still here. I'm bringing you the drags from the bottom of the barrel, and trying to entertain you a little bit while I'm doing that. So don't wonder if it's just gonna be a few shorter shows now. It's just not much going on. We got some news. We got the UK Information Commissioner's Office telling British Airways that they will probably fine them for why is it so dark? I don't have my wait. Got to switch that light on. Hope that's better. Anyway, they said that they want to fine them. BA had a data breach last year, and lost basically all the information of customers that were booking flights. I think was that like in between September and October or something. Like there was like a span of time where they lost personally identifiable data of almost 500,000 people. And now the Information Commissioner's Office is saying they want to fine them £183.39 million, which is about 1.5% of British Airways' worldwide revenue in 2017, or pretty much the price of one 747-400, as the register points out, which is a bit outdated comparison because BA is basically phasing out all the 747s. Not many left. They're all going to the Airbus A380. I flew in one, a very old 747 on the way to the US last year, and I was posting pictures of like the plane. Everyone was like, "They still have 747s? Didn't they want to phase them all out?" Yeah. Anyway, so this is going to be the biggest fine under the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in Europe so far. Yeah, and pretty much not much else to say about that, I guess. Then I had some news that Ann Donegan posted in the Discord. Interesting story about Zoom, which is teleconferencing software that I have to admit I'd never heard of before. Apparently it is in use with a lot of companies that hail from Silicon Valley or are headquartered there. It's teleconferencing software. It works on the Mac, and the Mac version has a flaw where any website can basically open a video call and activate your cameras. And there's a researcher who's discovered that, Jonathan Lightshoe, and he has talk to Zoom about it. The interesting thing about it is, so apparently it opens this, when you install this video conferencing software, it installs like a web server on your machine, which other people from the web can connect to. And now the weird and very wild part about the story is, apparently if you deinstall the software, the web server doesn't get deinstalled, and it still works. It's still on the system. I have a story here from The Verge, and they have a tweet from like a security researcher who says he tried this out and just tried to connect. He says the Zoom vulnerability is bananas. I tried one of the proof of concept links, got connected to 3 other randos, also freaking out about it in real time. Yeah. And apparently this researcher had contacted Zoom in late March. But Zoom he gave them 90 days to fix it, but apparently they haven't fixed it enough. Chromium and Mozilla were also informed, but it's not a browser issue, so they can't do anything about it. Yeah, it's pretty wild. You can apparently you can, if you have Zoom installed still, you can, in the settings, you can tell it to not automatically activate the camera. But that doesn't really fix the web server issue. You need like terminal commands to fix that. The Verge says in a statement to The Verge and other publications, Zoom said it developed the local web server in order to save the user some clicks. Great idea. After Apple changed its Safari web browser in a way that requires Zoom users to confirm that they want to launch Zoom each time. Why would that be? Zoom defends the workaround as a legitimate solution to a poor user experience, enabling users to have seamless one-click join meetings, which is our key product differentiator. Also, security vulnerabilities. The company says it will tweak the app in one small way. Starting in July, Zoom will save users and administrators preferences for whether video will be turned on or not when they first join a call. Overall, it doesn't sound like Zoom doesn't plan to drastically change how its app behaves on Macs to avoid getting sucked into an unwanted call, but it will instead rely on users to turn their cameras off by default. Yeah, maybe deinstall that app and kill that web server. I mean, it's hard to do if like your company uses that software, I guess, but still, I mean, that is pretty horrible. Yeah. There is some other news. The Ryzen 3000 processor, which I guess came out yesterday. It's a new processor. I'm not really excited about that. But apparently Linux distributions don't boot on it because there's a known problem, as Heise reports, a known problem that with the random number generator, which would so far with the older Ryzen 2000 processors result in the fact that if you're running a Linux distribution on that and it goes to sleep, then it can't wake up. But with the newer processors, apparently the error is worse. So it doesn't even boot. Here's a picture from my ex-colleague Torsten Lewis. This is a typical CT. I mean, I know it's a boot screen and you can't take screenshots of that easily, so you take a picture, but like, can't you at least light the fucking room so that you can read? Why, man? CT is so cute. Just look at that picture. It's this man. It looks like a homemade. Like any blog has better pictures. Anyway, as you can clearly see or not on this picture, it doesn't really boot. So apparently there's a bug fix. So the kernel developers can't really fix this because this is a BIOS firmware issue. But they have like a fix where like at least the distribution, the kernel won't freak out. It basically just ignores the error. And Heise says if they tried this with basically a patched modern Fedora, a new Fedora 30, and patched that's flying going around here, driving me nuts. Put the patch in manually and then it boots. So if you have a Ryzen 3000 processor, which you probably don't because it came out yesterday. Well, if your Ryzen doesn't boot, this might with Linux, this might be the error. Just so you know, it's all this like minor news today. I'm really sorry. The other open source thing is that Canonical's GitHub was hacked. So there was like an account that was connected to it that was hacked, and somebody managed to create 11 empty GitHub repositories. Canonical saying, okay, we've disconnected that account. Also, it's not really dangerous because we, obviously, all the code really is on Launchpad. So this is more like an annoyance here. This repository name Ken got hexed. Okay, yeah, well. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Nothing really critical happened. Live Heise poll. Does open source mean more security? What shall I vote for? I don't think that's an invalid question. Basically, doesn't really affect it, does it? I mean, anyway, let's not get into that discussion. Just one last thing. You might know that SMB1 is broken, especially, now years after all the ransomware attacks, NotPetya and all that, and all the Eternal Blue and all that stuff. Basically, SMB1 is broken, and this is why Microsoft disabled it by default in Windows installations for ages. And now finally, the Samba project has announced that it will do the same thing. With the next Samba version, SMB1 will be turned off by default. You can, of course, turn it on if you want to live dangerously. But by default, it's off. And SMB2 is the SMB2_02 is the earliest supported version. From then on in Samba as well, which I guess is great. As the register points out, years late to the SMB1 killing party, Samba finally dumps the unsafe file sharing protocol version by default. So we also have that. And that's pretty much it. Really not much going on. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll have some interesting tech news. Maybe something will explode. I don't know. Maybe something will happen. I'll have a look. Anyway, until then, have a good day. Have a quiet work day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.